Aloha. This is Leilani with another chapter of Confessions of a Divine Feminine. Welcome, e komo mai, and many mahalos for the love and support I've received from all of you beautiful souls out there. It means more to me than you know, and it gives me the fortitude to continue sharing my journey and healing process. I'd like to give a special shout out to Divine Pisces 222 and the Missfit Mystic. I highly recommend following their channels, and I've linked them below. If you'd like to share any of your twin flame stories anonymously on this channel, please feel free to email me at dfconfessions@gmail.com. And please like, share, and subscribe to help these stories reach others on the twin flame journey. Today I'll be sharing about reconnecting with my twin and what has transpired since. He's taught me so much about myself, and I'm excited to share this wisdom with you guys. It was about 3 months after my awakening when I found a lump in my breast. My sister was diagnosed with breast cancer in her mid-30s, so I was pretty scared to say the least. After an exam and mammogram, it was thankfully determined to be just a cyst. I was so grateful to hear this news, guys. I felt like it was a sign that life is too short and I needed to get going on my journey. I noticed that my DM had unblocked me from Snapchat a few weeks prior, and I was receiving other signs such as seeing his face wherever I went. I noticed that there's a street by my house called 111th Avenue, and the street immediately following it is my DM's last name. One afternoon, I was driving and talking on the phone with my dad. He started talking about license plates, and this indicated to me that I should be looking at license plates around me. At the next stoplight, the car in front of me had my DM's initials and was from the state where he lived previously. On another afternoon, I was taking a leisurely drive with my husband in the mountains. The energy that day was amazing, and I knew something wonderful was about to happen. I saw a license plate from my DM's home state with the initials of my nickname for him, followed by 1111. I love the way that spirit communicates. Have any of your friends or family members unknowingly pointed out synchronicities to you? Let me know in the comments. All of this led me to send my DM a friend request on Snapchat, and he accepted immediately. I waited for him to send me a message, and he did so the next morning. He told me how much he'd missed me and said, "I really like you, you know." My response was, "Well, I really love you, you know, but I don't want that to scare you." He replied, "I love you too, like, for real. Wow." This was coming from a man I barely know in this life, a man I've never met in the 3D. I told him all about my spiritual awakening and thanked him for saving my life, that I believe he's my twin, and asked him to research the topic if he felt guided to do so. I wanted him to form his own opinions and didn't want to influence him in any way. I told him I was searching for my mission and was looking for the best way to share my gifts. He said he knew I was going to change the world, that he could just feel it. It's wonderful for someone to have so much faith and belief in my abilities, and I'm realizing I need to have that same faith and belief in myself. I told him I was receiving the same downloads, but that we're supposed to change the world together. I think he found this to be triggering because he didn't respond. After a few days, I told him about what happened between my husband and I. I expected him to be upset that I didn't keep our connection a secret. I thought he'd blame me for enabling my husband to potentially cause harm to his family and marriage. Instead, he seemed more concerned about my welfare and wanted to make sure I was safe and was not being abused. Regarding his situation, all he said was, "If my wife finds out about you, I'll be kicked out of my house without a place to live." I told him that my husband's energy was stifling and that he was hindering my spiritual progression, that I wanted to leave him when the time was right. He said he trusted me to do what's best for the both of us. A couple of weeks later, I asked, "Do you think we'll ever be together?" He replied, "Are you asking me to divorce my wife to be with you? No." It's difficult to convey how hurtful it was to read this text. I was extremely triggered, and not just because of his rejection. Was I really asking him to leave his wife? Had I become someone who was trying to break up a family? There are 2 key lessons I learned from this interaction. Number 1, I was trying to control the situation. This was a tough pill to swallow. Control is an illusion, and we actually have very little of it. I embrace that fact now and am continually practicing the art of acceptance. Let go and let God. Number 2, my fear was causing me to be controlling and impatient. I was really upset that I didn't meet my DM earlier in life, and I was trying to speed up the process to union. The main reason for this is that I don't know how many healthy years I have ahead of me. My life had become a race to accomplish as much as possible before my disease starts showing symptoms. Now I'm aware that Spirit knows best. I'm just going with the flow and allowing divine timing to guide me. I knew I'd caused my DM to lash out and that we both needed space. After a week of silence, I sent him a message saying that I'm giving him time and that he's always welcome to reach out and talk. After that, he blocked me again. I spent the next few months working on myself and healing. I will continue this story in the next video. In the meantime, sending you all lots of love and light. Mwah. Ta-ta.